our company is a company called Dex One, and what I'm going to try to illustrate through a case study for you guys is not only can technology have a huge impact on the top line, but in certain cases, in certain industries, it can potentially completely transform that business. So that's what we're going to talk about today, using Dex as an example. So, who are we? Who is Dex? You know, Dex was one of the original Yellow Pages publishers. So that's the business we were in, and we are in the stages of a journey now, transforming ourselves from a print media marketing company to a digital media marketing company. So Dex, 10 years ago, life was really simple. A advertiser would come to us. They would put an advertisement in the Yellow Pages. We would deliver the book, and the consumer would find the advertiser by looking up the person in the phone book and either call the business or they would go and visit the business. So life was really simple. It was a closed loop. It was a unique value proposition. Due to the regulations in the industry, nobody else could come in and take and impact our space. So very easy business, very good business, but didn't last into the digital world. So what is the business like today? What is local search like today? Much more complicated, right? As far as the advertiser is concerned, they have so many different choices now in terms of where they can go to advertise their business. There's social media out there. There are the search engines out there. There are mobile things going on. There are so many different mechanisms for a business to reach their consumers today. And for our target market, which is the small and medium businesses, it is very confusing to them. We are talking about the local plumber or a local restaurant owner in the small to medium cities and towns and rural areas across the US. They are not very familiar with the digital stuff, and so when they're confronted with these myriads of choices, that becomes very difficult for them to decide how will we get to our consumer in the future. And same thing from the consumer side. They have so many choices in how they can find a business. What they're essentially looking for is very personalized recommendation, localized recommendation. So if I want to find a restaurant, I want to find something here, not across the country in San Francisco, right? I ideally want to find a restaurant of the particular type of cuisine I like to eat. And wouldn't it be great if it was also the restaurant came recommended from some of my close friends because they had been there and they really liked it. That's what consumers are looking for increasingly in the digital world with their familiarity and their dependence on social media. And again, there aren't a whole lot of choices or a lot of businesses that can provide this simplicity. Especially if you think again of the demographics in the small and medium cities and rural areas, it is, if you try to find a business online, many of them, you go to Google and search for that business, you may not even find the business there. Forget about trying to get a rating or trying to figure out whether the business is any good or not. So those are sort of the myriads of choices that the advertisers as well as the consumers face today with no real simple solution in solving their problems. So moving on, that's where the opportunity is for Dex. That's where we can really fill a gap. Dex's sort of like motto is very simple. We help local businesses connect to local consumers. It's as simple as that. And we have a whole variety of both print and digital solutions that we offer as bundles to our advertisers. And using those mediums that are available to them, they can reach out to their consumers. Those who are still steeped in print and use the Yellow Pages, they can still use that media. For the newer consumers who are on the web all the time, who are on social media platforms all the time, we offer all of those solutions to our advertisers as well. So it's as simple as connecting businesses to the local consumers that they're trying to go after. So to tell you a little bit about some of the traditional platforms that we've had that were sort of like our mechanisms for getting our advertisers' messages to a consumer in the past. Print, it's hard to kind of believe this, but as far as print is concerned, it is still a big driver in some of the smaller and rural areas. Just to give you some statistics, just last year we delivered over 1 billion leads for our advertisers using print. So Who uses Yellow Pages anymore, right? But Yellow Pages are still alive and well in the rural areas and some of the smaller cities, more than people would expect if you're from a large metropolitan area. Dex knows, that is our mobile internet search platform, Internet Yellow Pages, if you want to call it that way. It's a business search platform that is available on the web as well as on the mobile that consumers can use to locate businesses that they are interested in finding. And DexNet is our search engine marketing platform. So those are the platforms that we already had in the company when I came in, as we had started the digital journey. And the challenge that I had in front of me was to really speed the journey up, really accelerate the journey up, because as print continues to decline, where it's declining by about 15% a year, we've got to pick up the digital business fast enough to be able to outpace the decline in print. So to tell you a little bit about some of the solutions we have developed and deployed, actually all of them this year, there's been quite a bit. We have created a digital dashboard for our advertisers where they can actually come in and monitor the spend that they're doing with us to find out how the money they've given us to get their messages out to the consumers, how is that performing? How many leads are they getting from one source versus another, and allow themselves to tweak the leads depending on what they see in the performance dashboard. Mobile, that's a big area. We are making huge amounts of investment. More and more consumers want to find businesses using mobile technologies and tools. More advertisers want to be on mobile platforms in the way they reach out to their consumers, so that's an area we are making big investments. Website creation and hosting, that's an area, again, many of our businesses are so small that they don't have the ability to set up their own website or reach their consumers directly. So we do website hosting and mobile and sort of the hosting as well as the website creation and development and deployment for them. Custom videos, when our consumers, when our advertisers are trying to get their message out to the consumer, let's say it's a furniture store, and they want to basically not only show their consumer how to find them, but also show on the web, what type of furniture they carry in the store. We have the ability to actually develop custom video products for our consumers and display them off the web. So when a consumer finds that business, not only do they have the phone number and the address of that business, but they can also actually peek in and see what type of stuff does that business actually carry and whether it interests them or not. Reputation management, another great area. More and more as social medias are becoming popular, it is getting very important for businesses to monitor their reputation on the web and adjust their services or their products based on the feedback that they're getting on the web from the customers. And that's another product that we offer, that ability to monitor, and then using that feedback, the advertisers can tweak their products and services. Tell you a little bit about what's coming next from a technology standpoint, not only for ourselves at Dex, but across the industry. Social media, I mentioned before, advertisers want to get their messages out on Facebook. They want to get their messages out on Twitter. So the ability to get that content out there and the ability for them to use these social media platforms to stay connected to their consumers, that's an area that we are going to be helping our businesses with. CRM, small and local businesses, they have the need to stay connected with their customers, existing customers, as well as reach out to new ones. But they don't have the expertise or the ability or the financial resources to develop, large-scale CRM systems like a Siebel or a Salesforce.com or a Microsoft Dynamics. So offering them simple, clean, out-of-the-box CRM functionality is another big opportunity for our industry in general. And bundling solutions together. The advertiser doesn't really care, whether the leads are coming from social media or search, or is it coming from the Yellow Pages. They just want those leads. And bundling those solutions together in a simple way so they don't have to worry about how is my spend distributed across this media. All they want to care about is that I have X number of dollars to spend, I need Y number of leads to grow my business, and simplifying that in a bundle and selling that to them is another great opportunity that is important for our industry. So what does this mean for us? So it's quite simple. We have all these digital products and services we are developing, and that translates to actions and what are actions? Actions are simply leads for our customers. It's a phone call that a consumer, when they found that business, makes to them, or it's a click on a web page that again the consumer makes when they found the business. So that's basically what is called an action or called a lead. And as those leads increase for a small business, they get more calls, they drive more business, their top line grows. And as their top line grows, they can advertise more, therefore our business grows. So just to quickly sum up, these are the different mechanisms that we're using to get our our advertisers' messages out to the consumers. We have our own owned and operated properties, as I mentioned before, DexNose and DexNet. We have distribution agreements with all of the big players that you see on the internet today, whether it's a Google or a Yahoo or a Bing or some of the other traditional Yellow Pages company or some of the more newer digital players like CityGrid. We have connections and relationships with all of them, and we can get our advertisers' messages out to all of these media very effectively to make sure that the consumers can find them. And last but not the least, social media increasing importance, as I touched on before. And again, getting our messages, consumers' messages out to places like Facebook, Twitter, et cetera, is an important part of our growth strategy. So how are we doing this? So real quickly, enterprise architecture is important, agile development is important, open platforms so that we can easily connect to partners and offer services through APIs, that's really important, and scalability. As the business becomes digital, we've got to be able to scale the digital platforms in order to be successful. So last slide here, technology is a game changer for our industry, and it's a game changer for our business. We are becoming much more customer-centric as we do this, as opposed to product-centric. We are integrating and bundling our solutions together, simplifying the lives of our advertisers through digital dashboards, guaranteeing results, guaranteeing the number of leads that we can offer to an advertiser. And lastly, leveraging the information we are collecting about the end consumer to help our advertisers tune their products and services to be more effective in the business. So that's the power of technology for our industry. Thank you.